Las Vegas Sportsline is owned and produced by Vegas Sportsline, LLC. All opinions expressed by the hosts or guests are their own and are not endorsed by either radio station management or any of its advertisers.
It's time for the Las Vegas Sportsline. Brought to you by the Westgate Las Vegas, home of the world's largest race and sportsbook and the Super Contest.
Money won is twice as sweet as money earned.
Presented by WagerTalk.com.
I knew that. Here we go. It is the Tuesday edition of the Las Vegas Sportsline. Happy to have you with us. I'm Dave Koch, and Ralph Michaels is here from Wager Talk. Jared Justice on the board. We'll have Jeff Sherman from Superbook USA in just a little bit. How was your Super Bowl, Ralph?
Not eventful. I stayed home and I got a little bored. I was watching a TV show in between commercials and, won my couple major props, lost a few more, finished up 2 units on props. So I would have rather had New England not win another. I like to have a new guy win, but we saw again, you put Bill Belichick against a young quarterback, and he knows how to shut him down. We say it year in and year out.
Yeah, at this point, there just isn't any question about it. If you are not listing Belichick as the best coach ever and Brady as the best quarterback ever.
Yeah, there's no question.
You
it's not even.
You just don't have an argument anymore. There is no argument.
No.
Belichick and Brady have been to 9 Super Bowls. You can say, well, they got lucky in that one.
Dynasty gets thrown around, but I'll tell you what, the dynasty,
it is the greatest dynasty in sports history because of the fact that the playing field is now much more level than it ever was previously. For them to do what they've done over nearly 2 decades in the salary cap era it's incredible. That's not to take away from the Celtics of the 60s or the Canadiens going back forever in Montreal or the Yankees for all the great years they've had in baseball. But to do what the Patriots have done for nearly 2 decades now I think it's something we may never see again. I know the Warriors are a mini dynasty of sorts because it's been going on 5 and it'll be 6 years now, but it's unbelievable.
It's a skewed playing field with the Warriors compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
But, the Patriots have the advantage of Brady being a mid-range paid quarterback, putting all his salary at the end where they can pay the rest of their guys. And number 2, being such a well-run organization, they get these talents in that sign for minimums that they always sign a couple a year, and it really boosts their team. It puts them at a different level.
And I'll say this, something else to be said for
Cousins going to the Warriors is like what the Patriots get from players here and there. Yeah.
The other thing is there's no sentimentality. In New England, once they deem you not of any use anymore, you're gone.
Yeah.
That's why I think Gronkowski, and I'm not saying he's not of any use anymore, but he is declining because of the injury situation. He's done with the Patriots. I think he's going to retire. But at the very least, I'm quite sure he's played his last game in New England because I don't think they'll bring him back. At this point, he's damaged goods, and the downside is bigger than the upside at this point. And it's the Patriots. They are not going to look at this and say, well, Gronk's been amazing, so let's give him another year. I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, there are no labels. You're the starter. If you don't win that job in practice each week, you're not the starter come Sunday.
All right, statements last night in college basketball. We had a couple. I think the Louisville one was the one that mattered. Good bounce back for them off the North Carolina game. And, Louisville continues to be one of those teams that I don't know if they're quite ready to get to the Final Four, but I don't know if anybody's going to be shocked if they make a big run in the NCAA tournament. Chris Mack was the coaching pickup of the year.
No question. How many, I don't know this answer, and I meant to look it up. I never got to it. How many coaches in their first year took teams to the Final Four?
Well, I don't know.
Can't be very many.
It can't be many.
Yeah, I mean.
He's going to win the national championship here eventually.
He's good enough, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's a look, he always got the max out of what he had at Xavier. Now he's got more talent, quite frankly.
Bigger recruiting base.
Much better recruiting base.
Yeah.
And
5 stars will come to Louisville. 5 stars won't go to Xavier. Or hadn't gone to Xavier.
Right.
Yes.
He might make them into 5-star players.
Yeah. I mean, Trevon Blewett was a great player.
Yeah.
But, again, he wasn't a 5-star coming out of high school.
No. Boy, if you're a Louisville fan, you got to be just thrilled at what's going on. And we had controversy last night. Iowa State and Oklahoma. And if you had Iowa State in the under, I should say, you got screwed. That's the only way to say it. I know the broadcast clock said that it was on time, that it was a good shot, but it wasn't.
The backboard's
the backboard is the official. The red light of the backboard is the official thing, and the red light clearly went off before that shot was released by the Oklahoma player. Those 3 points should not have counted, and that impacted both the side and the total.
Well, let's see. Was that big for me? That was a 5% play at Wager Talk for me. Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
I'm sure a few of our listeners jumped on board and had it. And yeah, that was my one play yesterday. And now, granted, you wish a 5-star would not be that close to come down to it. But
the fact is, you should have cast a ticket.
It's I'm on a very uneven run right now, and those are the breaks you get on an uneven run compared to when you are hot and get those breaks.
Let's see if we can get some games with good results and good breaks tonight with the MJ Christensen 4-4.
1, 2, 3 into the 4.
Put them fours up. Put the fours up, I said. Do it right now.
Tonight's action is just around the bend, and the guys want to get your night off to a great start.
4.
It's the Las Vegas Sportsline's 4 at 4.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Unbelievable.
All right, and MJ Christensen, it's the Valentine's Day sale going on right now as we speak. We're almost down to a week before Valentine's Day. It's only 9 days away, so if you haven't made some kind of a decision yet, you better get going. Okay, you better get going because you know how that works. You don't want to wait until the last second on Valentine's Day and then screw up the gift because this is one of the big ones. In fact, you could argue this is the big one. You got to do it right on Valentine's Day. Among the items that are on sale right now, these are some really cool watches. Philip Stein watches. These are watches designed to provide better sleep, less stress, and more energy, and they're luxurious-looking watches as well. Say hello to the watches of Philip Stein, incorporating well-being benefits into iconic and crafted timepieces. And as part of their Valentine's Day specials, 30% off on Philip Stein watches for him and her. MJ Christensen celebrating love and like this Valentine's Day. Let's go to, let's start with the NBA, I think. And we will go first to the game between the Raptors and 76ers. Okay, so the 76ers they are playing well right now. Toronto has a really good record, but look at the record recently against the better teams. They're not doing well in those games at all. In fact, I think looking at the last four...
Lost to Houston, lost to Milwaukee, lost at Indiana, and that was about Oladipo. Yeah.
They've had the last 4 games they faced against higher-level competition, lost and failed to cover every one of them. I think you look at... And again, I'm not delving deep into the NBA until the playoffs, but just looking at this at first glance, Philly looks like the side to me.
Now, this morning, Lowry missed the last game for Toronto, and they still won.
And
he was listed as doubtful, but now he's upgraded to probable.
But
so something happened
worth?
Today, and he was fine.
What's he worth? A point?
A point. But, I don't know. I think he's worth more.
Really?
I think the team, his plus-minus may not be great, but I think he makes the team better. But normally I look to fade Philadelphia coming off a West Coast road trip.
Right.
But 2 things have me not doing that today. Number 1, they beat Golden State, then they had the letdown against Sacramento and lost to them.
Yep.
And they've had 3 days off. So it's not like you're coming home, have 1 day rest, taking care of your business with your family. You've been home for 3 days. You're ready. You had a practice in your facility. I do like the 76ers.
Other end of the TV doubleheader tonight is in Portland, where the Miami Heat will take on the Blazers. Portland, a good-sized favorite in this one, Ralph.
Miami, you look at the Heat. They're 11-16 straight up at home. They're 13-11 straight up on the road. I mean, how do you do that in the NBA? I mean, but...
I guess, how's the attendance been at Miami?
I don't know that.
Because I was just thinking of the Coyotes in the NHL, who are better on the road. They lost last night, tough game, but they're better on the road than they are at home. And it's somewhat explainable by the mere fact that nobody goes to their games.
Yeah.
So they have a very diminished home ice advantage. Is it the same way with Miami now that they are no longer contenders? I mean, let's face it, the Heat.
It's a negative impact for the players to walk in. We're on the road. They're an effort. But, you look at Portland. I love the way they're playing. 6-1 their last 7, 11-4 their last 15. Damian Lillard, man, 26.4 points per game. He is playing at an all-star level right now. I will back the Blazers.
Good matchup in the Big East tonight. Second time around for St. John's and Marquette, with St. John's getting the job done in the first meeting, and I think that's been about it as far as the losses go for Marquette in conference. They've been playing great basketball. Tonight, Marquette, well, obviously they're battling Villanova for the top spot. Big game for Marquette tonight. They're also looking for win number 20. The downside, it's in the line, okay? This line opened, it got as high as 7.5. It's clicked down a bit from there, but you're going to have to pay a premium if you want to bet Marquette tonight.
Marquette 16-1 straight up their last 17 games. As you said, that loss to St. John's, 13-3-1 ATS in that stretch. I do like this Marquette team. It's a team I bet to go to the Final Four. I don't think they're that good of a team, but I'll tell you what, they have the better offense than St. John's. They have the better defense. They're pressing the pace. I don't mind laying the price tonight with Marquette.
And we'll go to Manhattan, Kansas, home of Kelly Stewart. I don't know if she's there tonight or not. She is, okay. This is a big game. Kansas and Kansas State.
Her mom wouldn't go to her because her mom's from Kansas, and Kelly went to Kansas State. So it's that little rivalry. She goes, Kelly, you're too much of a pain in the ass. If K-State loses, I don't want to have to deal with you. So.
Well, K-State better not lose tonight because they've lost like 100 games in a row in this series to Kansas. It's not quite that much, but it feels like it. And this is really interesting. I kind of like Kansas State in the game. They're playing better than Kansas right now. Kansas has not been all that good on the road. But I'm not the only one, obviously. And I didn't play it. I would have played this. Had they been +1, I would have played it. I didn't think I was going to get that anyway. So I kind of just put a lean next to it. But now it's all the way to 3. And these steam games have been just awful in college basketball this year. It's like, I keep on hearing, well, I beat the closing line. You lost the bet, okay? And that's been a regular occurrence this year in college basketball. I got to tell you, my opinion is Kansas State. The value in this game is Kansas plus the 3.
I beat the closing line used to mean something when money moved the line.
Right.
But now just air moves the line. So one casino gets action, and all of a sudden they're all moving the line. So to me, that doesn't mean anything anymore.
And I'm sorry. I mean, and I know I got blocked by one of the people at one of the websites that says follow the sharp money. I got blocked from telling them that they're perpetuating a myth. It is a myth, okay? If you're doing that, you're losing. You are losing money. Stop doing it. It's BS. It's a lot of crap. And in this game, and Kansas State might well get them tonight. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you're betting this game now, you got to take Kansas. Because the Kansas, I'm sorry, that so-called sharp money in Kansas State isn't that sharp. It's a bunch of steam chasers. And the 3 is a bad number now.
It was 2 this morning, and I was thinking of using Kansas State. But, I mean, they have everything go for them. Since Brown was back, 5 straight wins. Right now, in the new college basketball guide I put out at Wager Talk, I have Kansas State about 35 year-to-date. But if I just took the last 5 games, they'd be the second-best team in the Big 12.
They're playing tremendous ball.
With Ohio State. With Iowa State, excuse me.
Right.
But, Kansas without Azubuike, Kansas now without Marcus Garrett, who won't play tonight. So those are 2 big losses. But it's still little brother having to beat big brother, and they haven't done it.
Favored, too.
And now they're a favorite. Exactly.
All the pressure's
so that's
on the
enough reasons for me to, even though I like Kansas State, to not back them.
Let's talk to Jeff Sherman from Superbook USA. What's going on, Jeff? How are you?
Excellent. Just recovering from a busy couple weeks.
You had something going on this weekend?
But
there was a golf tournament I was watching on Sunday.
So was I, and I thought I can't believe how bad the tournament was in terms of these awful shots by Fowler and Grace, and Fowler managed to win the thing. We'll talk more about the golf in a minute. I guess this isn't a surprise. When you stop and think about it, people across the country hate the Patriots, but I think they were afraid to bet against the Patriots, and that contributed to the streak of record handles being snapped here in Nevada. We did not get a record handle this year.
Yeah, it was down a little bit, and we had that sense over the couple weeks about type of wagers coming in, things like that, and it felt like there was a lack of energy too. I think we would have done a lot better had the Chiefs been in the game.
I agree.
We would have had new blood on both sides. People recently saw the Chiefs and Rams play that Monday night, score 100 points. I think we would have topped the record had the Chiefs been in there, but it's almost like what some people are calling patriot fatigue, and it just led to less involvement from the betting public.